You know, I was just saying to myself, I gotta change the caption on my title here, man. Like, it's not right anymore. Well, it is right, but I said I wasn't gonna talk about it anymore, and I still got the bitch up there. That's not right. I'm gonna change that in a minute here. Anyways, welcome to this special Friday mid-morning, late afternoon brunch style, all about aviation network special exclusive broadcast. Yeah, the PMDG 737-800. We're gonna recreate this Air Alaska Flight 90 that took place today from, well, you cannot see me at all, can you? From Sitka, Alaska to Seattle, Washington. So I got some shit to do a little bit later, but I'm gonna do this now. But yeah, let me change the caption because I said I wasn't gonna talk about it anymore. I meant what I said. I just forgot to change the caption. So give me just a few seconds. Let me change that caption. And then we get rolling here. We gotta get this we gotta get this bird set up for Alaska Air. I mean, it is Alaska Air, as you can see, but we gotta make sure that the system is right. I got the options page pulled up from PMDG to go over exactly what this particular Alaska Air 737 will use as far as equipment inside of it. So, all right, let me change the header. Let's get rid of the I got fired part because we're not talking about that anymore. All right, subscribe, like, member up. Member up. So subscribe, like, super, and member up. All right, and let's make it centerized again, or as close to center as we can get. That's about as close. That's about as close to center as I'm gonna get with this one. There we go. That's about as close to center as it's gonna get. All right. All right, let's turn on the volume for the simulator. Uh-oh. Error. YouTube is currently not receiving. Oh, man. I hope they're wrong. Let me go to, let me open up YouTube and make sure I'm actually... can I just have one day where I go online and I just don't have some sort of technical issue that I did not create? Like, is that possible? Is it possible? Yeah, it looks like we're still on. Let me wave my hand and see if I can see myself. Let me wave my hand again, since there's a little bit of a delay. And let me see. It looks like it's still working. All right, I think it's still working. I think we're good. Yep, yeah, there's my stupid accent. Or my stupid accent. All right, let's get rid of the steering column. Yeah, we good. We good. We good. All right, let's pull this up. Yeah, PMDG has a list for a lot of their liveries for the 737, 738, and 739. So let's come over yonder and let's get this thing set up. I know I have Air Alaska already set up, but I've never set it up for what I'm getting ready to do. All right, so let's click on menu and let's hold it. Hey, what up, cowboy? I got a job interview in about 3 hours, so I'm gonna knock out this flight and then do that interview and then come back tonight. And then tomorrow, I think tomorrow is the FS, the Flight Simulator Expo. I think I'm gonna live stream that, and you know, we talk about it as it's going on because there's supposed to be a lot of cool stuff coming out tomorrow. So, all right. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna, after we hold menu, we're gonna go to setup, and we're gonna go to aircraft, and we're gonna go to equipment, and we're gonna make sure everything is set up according to what this particular airline would have. So we have Collins, that's correct. Wings level, that's correct. Deny. Fail pass, so it only does a category 1 or 2 landing. If you're in this particular plane and you want it to auto land where it rolls out and flares on its own, click on fail OP. And there's an easy way to tell that that's chosen because you'll have 3 buttons here on the MFD. This one just has fail pass, so now it just has the 2 buttons. So that's probably the quickest way to tell what type of ILS landing this PMDG can do. All right, let's go next. And we got yes, yes. All right. And we got 18, 5,000, and yes. All right. V1 callout is off. Bank angle is on. We have APR minimums. Okay, we got minimums there. We have minimums call is, okay, APR minimums call is none. Then we have minimums. Minimums is what it should say. All right. And then we have 2,500 feet. All right. Let's go ahead. 2,500 is no. 1,000 is no. Come on. You can do it. You can do it. There we go. All right, 500 is smart. And then we have off, off. Everything is now off until we get to airspeed low oral. So, all right, this is all off. Wow, they don't call out anything on Alaska. All right, airspeed low oral is on. Then we have yes for terrain, probably no for water. Yep. Nobody ever shows water in cyan. All right. ETOPS is a yes, which means we have yes for dual battery, yes for cargo fire system. All right. And we have 1,500, 1,500, 800, 3,000, 18,000. All right. We got FL 18,000, 800, 6, 15. Auxiliary fuel system is, should say NA. All right, yeah, that's fine. Okay. Then we have ISFD only. All right, we got all this. That's good. Yaw dampener gauge is a no. This is the heads-up display system here. All right, performance improvement package, we have a no. Short field package is yes. Auto probe heat is yes. Flight test is no. And then we have steel for the brakes. All right, lighting is original with pulse. Eyebrows is no. We have 2 class. Air stairs is no. Cutoff style switch is old. All right, yoke check. All right, all this is yes. I think auto ignition is yes also. Yep. All right, pressurization panel is old. Flight tablet we're going to leave in. All right, Wi-Fi band is KU band, and then we have classic for the nav panels. All right, so all that's done. We have one more page to do. Well, one more section to do here. All right, we got split axis. I'm sorry, okay, split axis. Then we have on, off, on. Okay, ground speed. Okay, ground speed is off. 20 is on. 100 knots is off. All right, rising runway is on. So we have 3 ons in a row, and then round radial is off. AOA is off. All right. Landing altitude bar is on. 2,500 is on. So airspeed is on. Show landing flaps is off. Flight path is on. All right. Those are on. Track up is yes. VSD is on. Range arcs are off. That I don't like. I don't like having the range off, but that it is what it is. I like having that green arc on the display showing where the navigation thinks the plane's going to be at a certain altitude. I like, well, whatever. We'll leave it off. That's how they have it in this plane. All right, show next altitude constraint. That's yes. And VOR course lines is off. All right, 5,000 off. And oops, hang on a second. TCAS. Okay, that's off. And then that's fine. All right, engine side by side is no. That's 10 minutes. We have, we'll do quartz. And then on. Max thrust is off. All right, when D rate used is good. All right, and then we have 2,000. Yes. Pounds. And then off. And off. All right, so that is all set up now. That actually reminds me now, I need to go into SimBrief and set this up for pounds, not kilograms for the flight that I set. All right, I'll do that while I'm doing this. Let's go return. Let's make sure failures are turned on. All right, all service-based failures are turned on. Let's go back to here. Let's go to options, simulator. All right, IRS options, we have fast. All right, view saved flights. All right, all that is good. All right, 8x speed for the sim increase. And let's toggle this so it works properly. Performance, there's nothing we need to do in here. So, all right, so let's save this. Just 1 second, let me edit this flight. Save it as pounds instead of kilograms. All right, generate flight. All right, very good. And let's go back to here so we can save this properly. See who texted me. Sweet. All right, let's save this as, so what we're going to do is we're going to save this. So let's go up to here. So we already have cold dark GPU here. You can change that to whatever you like. You can also pick one of the ones that you've saved. Like I have, you know, Malaysia Air. This is it's up near Norway and Sweden. I forget the name of the airline company, but you know, Pegasus, Southwest. You know, anyways, but without the ones I saved, you can do like taxi, approach, you know, cruise. So I usually do cold and dark with the GPU already attached. So I'm going to save this one now because he's saved to delivery. So we're going to do ASA. Why is my keyboard? Oh, that's right. I got to use this. Okay. ASA. I was trying to use my keyboard. I forgot I can't use my keyboard here. And then we're going to do dot N. This is the livery type according to Navigraph. N516. And then AS. All right, so we're going to do that. We're going to click now on file name. We're going to execute that. And we should be completely set up now once this is done. Yep. Everything is now set up on the dashboard. The glare shield. All right. Now let's go back. Now that that's done, let's go to actions, and I don't know if that jetway will connect. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. All right, go to ground services. We're going to release the stairs. And we're going to change this to jetway. Let's wait for the stairs to get out of the way. It might put the jetway right inside the airplane, actually, at that kind of angle. All right, go over here. Let's click jetway. Ooh, we might be okay, actually. I did this one time, and it came through the co-pilot side into the cabin, and the whole jetway was like right in the middle here. So, all right, now there's a couple ways you can go about setting up this airplane. So, we have the tablet, which we're gonna talk about in a second. If you don't have the tablet and you're doing it through this system here, that's what we really need to worry about. So you can put the exact amount of fuel here that you want. You can put the exact payload in here that you want. And when you do it here, where you do the exact amount here, all you need to do is go into ground services and then type in the exact amount that's going to show here, or the exact amount that's going to show here, you know, or what's going to show here. Okay. If you want to start at like 0, just zero out, like put a minimal amount of fuel in, and then just set this as empty. And we'll put a minimum amount of fuel in here too. Let's do well, let me see how many pounds we actually need before I zero that out. Let me go back to Navigraph. Let me re-import this flight. If I remember correct, we can do all this from the tablet, so you should have the tablet now. I mean, that's, I think, standard issue now with this airplane. So let's see here. We're supposed to have, according to SimBrief, we should have about 18,500 pounds. So we can actually leave that there. And then, you know, now if you wanted to type all this in for like passengers, see how it says 0? If you type in 160, which is the max, now that the jetway is connected, once you type in 160, this start should turn green. Then you would click start. Once it turns green, you would call the loaders in, the carts, type in the amounts that you want here. Once these turn green, click start. Same thing with fuel. Once you type it in, this turns green, click start. You have to request the fuel truck for that to happen. So, all right, let's come up here. Let's go to our flight bag. Let's request this from SimBrief. Oh, before I do that, let me make sure I have pounds on. All right, so we have feet, inches per hectogram, and pounds. There we go. All right, that should be fine now. Let's click home. Let's click request data. Now this system in here, I believe it's still, we'll check it when we turn the airplane on. I think the AirAC system is like 2 years old. So when I built this, I'm using like AirAC 2204, I think it is. So let's put our departure weather in here. We can do simple or METAR. We have our flight plan right here. And then we have our charts here. We don't, well, you know what we do? Let's see if this chart actually shows up here. I don't think it will. Oh, you know what? It might actually. 10.3, there we go. Yep, that's our departure chart. Okay. All right, very good. So, doesn't look like there's a way to bring in... I thought there was a way to bring in the weight, the fuel, and all that. Let me see performance here. Import. Oh, you can import this from... All right, well, we're just going to... We're not going to do it that way. We're going to import it from... We're not going to import it. We're just going to type it in. So we're supposed to have 18,559. I'm not going to call the trucks and all that. That takes too long to do. So I'm going to type in 18,559 for the fuel. Yeah, that takes too long. Let's turn the airplane on so we can get a fuel reading, and then we'll type that in. So let's come up here. Let's turn the battery on. Let's turn the ground power on. Let's put those lights on. And let's arm the emergency lights. And put the seatbelts on. Let me turn on some sound so I can hear this. I don't really want to wear my headphones unless I really need to. But I think it'll be okay. I don't think it'll pick up. I don't think it'll pick up the aircraft. All right. So now that we got that, let's type in 18,559 for the fuel. Let's go to actions again. So we're just going to type in the exact amount here. We have 18,559. That way we don't need to call the fuel truck in. Let's go to our payload. Let's see how many people we have. And here you can just click and drag the screen. This is one of the only airplanes with a tablet that in the simulator where you can click and drag the screen. So, all right, so we have 132 people. So let's split that between first class and economy. So let's do 8 in first class and 124 in economy. And let's see what our payload is. I'm sorry, cargo is 7.3. So let's come down here. And we will do, let's do 33 in the front. And let's do 4,000 in the rear. All right, very good. So let's go return now. Let's go to ground services now. And now instead of calling the trucks and clicking this, and all that, we can just type in so 18,559. Actually, let's type in 623 since that's what's in there. All right, 18,623. All right, let's go next. Do 132 for the people. And now let's type in 3,300. So we need to do all this before we can set up the other side. The other side over here. So FMC, you can see it says AirRec. So this is the AirRec I use. So 2204, it's from April and May of 2022. So if you are going to use SimBrief for this, if you want the correct waypoints and, departures and arrivals, you need to use AirRec 2204. It's the very last one in the list now. So hopefully it'll get updated at some point, because once the new AirRec comes out next month, that one's probably going to go away in SimBrief. So, all right, let's put this on heading STS. And let's do nav and nav. Let's come over here and get our coordinates. So we have north 5702, west 13 something something. So that should be the same thing in here. Let's go to position. Let's go to the next page. Yep, pretty close. Go back. All right. And what is our PASI? P-A-S-I. P-A-S-I. All right. Let's get the APU turned on. So let's go ahead and turn on some fuel. Let's put the APU on. Let's turn the bleed on. All right, let's go to route. Let's request our flight plan. Uh-oh. Oh. There we go. All right. We can set the payload from here if you would choose to. If you don't have SimBrief integration, what you would want to do is here, let me go. Let's just set the route for now, and I'll show you how to do it if you don't have SimBrief. Load. Let's wait for this to finish, and then I'll show you where to go. All right, let's activate this. Execute. Okay. So if you don't have SimBrief, after you plug everything in for weight and fuel and all that, you're going to come over here to initialization request. You're going to click this. It'll bring it in. It'll give you an option to load it. You load it. It'll load everything in. We can do it through the route menu here. So let's go back to here. Let's set the fuel. And set the payload. And all that should be fairly equal to what we have there. So, all right, let's go return. Let's talk to the ATC and figure out which runway we're going to take off from. All right, runway 11. That's what I have already. Let's find out what they think the weather is today. So let's go to departure. We are doing runway 11. We're doing BKA4. Let's click execute. And I don't know what approach we're doing. Let me look at this real quick. As long as the weather is good, we'll probably do an RNAV approach, because this is one of the only airplanes that I have where you can actually change the required navigation performance. You can also input waypoints if you need to. You like create your own waypoints, which is a really cool thing that's available. All right, so we can do RNAV. Are we landing really on runway 34? Yep. All right, let's do RNAV Z. 34 left. And we'll use ships as the transition. All right, very good. So let's go back to departure, arrival. Let's do arrival. I guess there's no weather here. All right, no worries. All right, we are doing RNAV Z34 left. Ships Z is our transition. And we have Mariner 7 with YYJ as transition. All right, that's good. So let's go to legs now. We got to get rid of any discontinuities or vectors, really, if there are any. Here's one here. And we actually need to get rid of a few waypoints. So we need to get rid of all this here. Vector, E, MMS, ships. We need to get rid of that. So let's do ships on top of vectors. Execute. Let's do ships on top of EMS. Ooh, can't do that, huh? Alright, let's do EMS on top of ships here. And we need to get rid of EMMS because Woobet is the last actual waypoint before we make our turn towards the runway. Alright, very good. Now that that's all done, I do want to look at it on the display here. And then we're pretty much ready to go. Outside of calculating our takeoff speeds and all that. Let's put this on plan. And we can use this step button down here. So let's click on legs first to bring it back to the beginning. And let's go steps. Alright, there's Woobet, there's ships, and that's our landing right there. Alright, very good. So that's all done. Let's get the jetway disconnected. We can also release the ground power. No! What the fuck? Oh, I forgot to turn generators on. Fuck my life. Shit. Forgot about that. Alright. Alright, that's all done. Let's come over to the tablet. Let's calculate our takeoff speeds before we back up. So we have runway 11. That brings in all the info. Let's import this from the aircraft. Import the weather. Now let's click calculate. Here's all our info here. What does that say? 1010. So let's, what is 1010? It should be in inches. See, I changed that. I don't know why it still shows hectopascals. Alright, that's equivalent to 29.84. So let's change that. Now, changing it here, the way I have it set up in this airplane is that it'll change it everywhere. You know, this display and the co-pilot side. So, our Giga Chad, as I like to call him. Alright, let's go back to initialization. I guess we still need to bring it in, I guess. Alright, whatever. I thought they would have brought it in since we, or maybe setting it from here sets it. Okay. So when you click set fuel and set payload, it sets it in where we were typing it in before. You still need to click that button and then click load. Alright, execute. Now, I think our cruising altitude is like 17,000 feet for this flight. Oh, it is at 37,000 actually. Alright, so since we're going to change our cruising altitude, let's do that now. We're going to click on cruise. We're going to change this to 37,000. Execute. Now let's go back here. Transition's fine. Reserves. We have to type in the planned amount for the fuel. Otherwise, we're going to get warning messages the whole time. So, go back up here. Go to here. Click on the page. Let's go to our fuel section again. And we need to type in this number here. So 11.6, I guess we could say. 11.7. So let's type in 11.6. And the reserves are 0.5. Total is 18. All right, let's get rid of the taxi amount. Let's put in 18. Hang on a second. All right, minimum 18, 11. Yeah, that should be fine. Let's type in 18 and see if we still get that message. All right, that's fine. So 18, let's go to N1. We got to type in the temperature that it calculated for us. So we have 37. Let's type that in. And what are we doing? D-rate what? So we have takeoff 1. We got takeoff 1. There we go. Let's go to takeoff, and let's go to this back page first so we can set up the runway slope. So we have a slope of pretty much 0. Let's type it in anyways. 0.05. And then the runway wind is, there's no wind actually. So we'll just leave that blank. Let's go back. We got flaps 5. And our center of gravity is 25.21. So we have 25.2. Here we go. And that, and that. And we are all good to go. One thing I want to try to do is bring in our forecast if we can. And then we'll be all... What's up, Empty? How's it going for you today, my friend? Hopefully you're having a good Friday. All right, that is all done. Let's click execute. Let's get out of here. So what we're going to want to do now is runway 11 would be right there. So let's remove the chocks. It's always good to remove them. We're going to click on pushback. Hey, Planes, what's going on, my friend? How are you? Welcome back. I don't recall if it's right or left, so we're just going to leave it on right. We've got to select the tug. And let's click start.
Cockpit to ground. Go ahead. We've been cleared for pushback and start. They want the tail to our left. Roger that. Ready to push. Tail to the left. Park brakes off.
Park and brake off.
Brakes released.
And I want to turn this one. I want to turn this one down a little bit.
Brakes released. Here we go.
Turn this one down a little bit. Put the rest of our fuel pumps on. We got a little bit of fuel in the center as well. Put our electric hydraulics on. Probes are on auto. Let's go ahead and get one of our engines turned on. Oh, it's pushing us the wrong way. We'll have to make a U-turn. Put the fuel on. And we'll just stop the pushback here. When you let it complete its task, it'll talk to you at the end and wish you a good flight and all that, so. Right, parking brake is back on. Let's do N1 here. Not N1. Take off. Alright, let's put the other engine on. Put our wing lights on. Wheel well logo. Put our fuel on. Put our TCAS system on. Weather is still not automated. Why is the cart still there? Didn't I get rid of the cart? Menu, actions, pushback. Oh, I didn't get rid of the tug. There we go. Alright, that's all done. Let's turn the generators on. Let's turn this off. Let's put you on auto. Let's put packs on auto. Let's type in 37,000 here. And our landing altitude, as far as like the, you know, kind of the altitude of the Seattle runway, is 430. So let's just type in 450. Very good. Let's put our taxi lights on. Let's turn the APU off. And we are all set. Yaw dampener, let's turn that on. Let's ding the cabin. And let's put our flaps down. We have to verify these again, so just click on one of them. That's fine. We have 145 as our B2 speed here. And I don't believe we have any constraints with our takeoff, according to the chart. Let's look at the chart real quick, which we have over here. Nope, no constraints, so we can just go right to 37,000 feet. And we're still at 2984 for the pressure. Alright, so let's go ahead and go. We might be driving through a few planes. Unless I can split the difference. Oh yeah, take that. Take that. Playing bumper planes. Actually, I think this plane took off at like 6 something in the morning, to be honest. If I remember correct. I think it was like 6:44 in the morning or something like that, if I remember right. Alright, let's slow down here so we can get our takeoff clearance. That's good. Let's put on our takeoff lights. We can click this bar right here. Let's put on our strobe lights. Turn the taxi lights off. Put this on continuous. And we didn't put on our flight directors yet, so let's do that. Gotta do both sides. Let's arm LNAV and VNAV. I'm not going to engage the auto throttle yet since we're doing a takeoff. And let's put our heads-up display down. Release the parking brake. Let's put this back on map. Put this on data so we can get data for the waypoints as far as like altitude and speed and all that, if there's any kind of constraints with that. It's cool, this thing's right on the lake. I like that. Sure wish there was instant replay so I could like do the takeoff, pause it, and then kind of like watch the takeoff again. Hopefully there's instant replay with the new simulator. I think there's supposed to be, but who knows for sure. Alright, I know we're not lined up completely, but it's fine. Alright, let's start rolling. And then there's a screw we got to click on right here. That gives us toga.
Airspeed alive. 80 knots. E1. Rotate. E2. Positive rate of climb.
Alright, gear up. I'll lock the landing gear once I'm not flying the plane. Once I put it in autopilot, I'll lock the landing gear. It's actually a pretty fun takeoff. I like this takeoff. Hey, what up, Keith? Toga! Toga! I had a toga party many years ago. Alright, autopilot on. Auto throttle on. Let's lock the landing gear now. Put our flaps up. Yeah, I had a toga party many years ago at my at the fraternity I was in. That was a lot of fun, actually. Oh yeah, let's increase our altitude, actually. Before we actually get comfortable, let's put you up to 37,000. And let's go back into VNAV. Alright, we are all good to go. Now, I do have an interview of sorts coming up, and I gotta leave in about A little less than 2 hours I have to leave, so we should be done this flight by then. We do have 8x speed as well with this plane. I'm so happy I'm flying this plane right now. I love me some PMDG. Yo, this plane I bought last night is amazing. It's called the something monster, the junkyard monster, I think is what it's called. I'm gonna show it tonight when I start at 8 o'clock. But it's made up. It's got an Aston Martin engine in it. It's got alarm clocks in it. It's got a dartboard that you use as the trim wheel. It's got a BMW M4 steering wheel as the yoke. It's a lot of fun to fly too. So it's got two versions. It's got a version with pontoons, so you can land in the water. It's got a version with wheels. Well, the one with the pontoons turns just fine. On ground, it turns just fine, but the one with the wheels doesn't turn at all. So I went on their Discord page earlier today, and I sent them a message, and I didn't bash them at all. It was only $5 for the plane. If it never turns on ground, I'm okay with that. I was just curious. So I sent them a message, and I think I like their reply. It's a bit of a... So I said, it's amazing. I have a question. Lord Frites. So it's made by a company called Flying Fries. There's actually French fries available for you to eat inside the airplane. You pull out an ashtray and it's got like French fries in it. So I asked them about it, and Lord Frites said the famous ground handling. He's got the emoji with the sunglasses on. He's like, don't worry. Don't worry about it. So it seems like he says it's very tricky but learnable. So, and then you'll learn to do drifts and donuts, and you will see. Yeah, so it's a whole big, wow, it's a lot of stuff you got to do to actually turn this plane on the ground. Jesus. All right. Well, whatever. So it is possible. It seems like you have to go really slow, and I'll read about it later. But I thought that was awesome. He's like, don't worry about it. We should just stay at 12,000 feet. Let's just stay at let's just stay there. All right, fuel. So I got to turn the center pumps off. Turn the landing lights off. See here, turn this off, and this off. And let's put this down to 14,000 feet. Yeah, we'll just stay at 14,000 feet. All right, let's click on altitude, speed. And let's do, yeah, I agree, PMDG is great. Let's do a little 8x action. So for this, we got to click on, now I've never been able to do it with a controller. I've only been able to do it with a mouse. But we have the clocks in white. If we click on this little button up top here, this goes green, and now we're going to be in 8x speed. Off and on. It's not 8x the whole time, but it's it fluctuates. Yeah, sometimes it has trouble going 8x if it's got too many clouds, or depending on what like camera angle you're at. All right, let's get our charts up for landing. So let's go here. So arrival, we're doing Mariner. So we can pin this one. And for the approach, we are doing RNAV Z34 left. Okay, we can unpin all right, very good. All right, let's see here. The YYJ is our transition. You know, I should probably look at the VFR chart, to be honest, to see if we're going to be okay at this height. I think we will be. I don't think there's I don't think the route we're taking is really taking us over any kind of mountains. We're pretty much over the water the whole time. Oh yeah, we should be fine. We're pretty much over the water the whole time. Let me at least look at the VFR chart though, just to double check. Yeah, 4,000, 3,000, 8,000, 10,000, 8,000, 10,000, 10,000, 10,000. Yeah, we're fine. So we really don't need to really pay attention to anything until we get the YYJ. Then we really need to start, figuring out what we're gonna do as far as descending the rest of the way. Welcome anybody who's new. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. I usually do this in the evening at 8 o'clock East Coast time, but I'm unexpectedly off of work this week. So I have a little bit of time today before I go out for the meeting that I have this afternoon. So I figured, why not? Let's jump in a plane we haven't flown in a while. So we're going to set up the heads-up display for landing coming up. We're going to make sure the RNP is correct for the RNAV landing that we're doing. If we do this landing, we actually, I'll contact the ATC and they might have a different runway for us, so we may have to switch last minute and, do a different landing than what we have planned. What we have planned, though, is where we just pass the runway, and about 10 miles we make this U-turn and just kind of come right in. So PMDG, what they do with their simulator speed, so I have it on 8x right now. When we get to like a half a mile to a waypoint, we slow down. Automatically it slows down. We'll pass the waypoint and then it'll speed back up again like it is right now. And then once we get to about a half a mile from Tukey, we'll slow down. Watch, when we get to about a mile, half a mile, it'll slow down. And we pass it, and it'll pick up speed again. Thank you, my friend Keith. I appreciate that. I will enjoy it. It's nice to know people like what you do sometimes, you know? Especially when I'm having fun doing this. You know, we might take, I don't know, maybe we'll take a break from the simulator tonight and we'll do like hack and slash survival game tonight. I've been playing those 2 games. Still Wakes the Deep, which is a really cool brand new survival horror game. And I've also been playing Lords of the Fallen, which is an awesome game. Like a Dark Souls game. But it's only been out for like I guess about maybe a year, I guess. It just got on Game Pass a few weeks ago. That, or we might take the DC-6 and try to fly it over top of Mount Everest. Grease and I were talking about that yesterday, about taking the DC-6, flying it over top of Mount Everest. Ooh, we still got a good ways to go. Damn. I didn't realize we still had such a long way to go. Be-duper! So let me show you guys something. So if you have this plane, actually any of the 737s from PMDG, if you would like to create your own waypoint, let me show you how I should do it. I do this periodically with landings. So let's say you know we're coming in for landing, right? And ships is supposed to be our transition for the landing. But let's say you wanted to create a waypoint like 5 miles before ships, right? What you would want to do is you'd want to click on ships, type in the reciprocal of 165, the opposite. So that would be 345, right? So you would type in ships 345, like this, 345. Do a slash, and then just type in the mileage that you want, like 5 miles, 10 miles. You type in 5 miles, right? You type that, and then if you click on ships again, click execute, and now we have ships and ship 1, and we have the reciprocal of that. So if you ever want to create your own waypoint in the PMDG 737, that's how you do it. Comes in handy periodically if you'd like to give yourself some more space on a landing. I don't think we're going to need it today. And we'll still work on getting the heads-up display set up for landing in a little bit. Because there's a few things we can change, and we have to put a little bit of information in as well. And we still have to set up our landing as well. You know, landing en route and landing dispatch. So We're flying much lower than we should be, but I like doing that because I like looking at the ground. Sure, we could climb to 37,000 feet or 35,000 and everything looks like a little postage stamp, but I like looking at the ground. They did a really good job with like satellite imagery and the textures and all that, so it's kind of nice to like look at the stuff that's available. Yeah, I got a meeting with my cousin in a little bit. Talk to me about maybe doing commercial real estate, so I'm very interested to see what this conversation is going to be about. Like, I'm not trying to get my hopes up, but I'm wondering if he wants to like put me under his wing and like teach me teach me everything he knows about it. Which I would not be opposed to that at all. That would be awesome. He's a huge realtor down where I live. Oh yeah, it is fun. Absolutely. Sure is. Oh yeah, real estate's easy to get. Yeah, you're right. It's probably a lot easier to get than the insurance licenses that I have. But yeah, I mean, my cousin's been at it for 30 years-ish, somewhere in that area. I know he's trying to retire and move down to, what South American country is he trying to retire to? Brazil, I believe. But yeah, you know, I talk to him every month for like 10 minutes a day. And 10 minutes a day. Like 10 minutes at a time. Like, usually for 10 minutes we'll talk. We usually talk once a month. And he's never asked me to come in before and talk to him, so I'm kind of curious. We'll see what happens. Actually, my mom and my cousin are heading to Alaska today. They're doing a 14-day Alaskan cruise. I told my mom and my cousin to go try to catch salmon in the river with the bears. I don't think they'll do it. You never know, though. Might see a picture on Facebook of my cousin catching a salmon in her teeth. I think that would be kind of fun. Doing a 14-day cruise like that. What's up, Gav? I gotta leave in like an hour and a half-ish. I'm going to talk to our cousin John. What are you looking for? There's lasagna one on the... Alright, whatever. Whatever. Can have some of that pasta I made if you want it. It's not bad. Oh yeah. Yeah, I've never seen the salmon. I've never seen salmon do it in real life. I've seen a few documentaries. Yeah, they are super strong. Swimming up that that current, as strong as that current is, and then leaping as high as in the air as they do. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, those salmon. It's interesting how they always go back to where they were born too. It's like they're on a string, swim around, and then when it's time to go back and lay eggs and do all that stuff, they just follow the string back to where they came from. It's pretty wild. Interesting how animals can do that. You know, where they just instinctively know. Oh man, James is here. Oh shit. You didn't change your name, James. I thought you were like the F-14 or the F-15. What? No thanks. I'm good. You enjoy it. The almighty Tupolev. Yeah, you're back, dude. The almighty James is on the scene. Shooting down any kind of airplane he can find, get his hands on. Yeah, it's crazy how animals... Huh? Huh? What you mean, why? What? What you mean, dude? Yeah, it's wild how... Let me finish this thought. So it's wild how animals can... Like, they just instinctively know where to go back to. Like, it's just... I don't know how they do that. That's pretty wild. Oh, I don't know, because you were flying those other planes. So I thought you were going to change your name to whichever plane you were flying. You did that for a while where you would change your name to whatever plane you were flying, so that's why I was saying that. Yeah, it is crazy. Same thing with whales too, like, and the distances that they can cover. It's just amazing that they can cover like thousands of miles. Ah, every Saturday. Gotcha. Gotcha. I didn't realize there were so many seaplane bases on the way to where we're going. I was trying to find one of those last night to take off with that airplane I bought, the Monster, the Scrapyard Monster, I think it's called. Yeah, female animals navigating. Yeah, because we know that female mammals, at least the bipedal ones, have a tough time navigating. At least in my experience, they do. Gotcha. You flying a glider, James? A glider or a helicopter? It's true. It's true. Yeah, these birds make the same migration every year. Every year they make it. And it's just like a laser beam that they follow. and I can't tell somebody, you know, how to get to a store down the street from the house. Ah, okay, gotcha. All right, we are actually almost at our arrival transition. We have like one more waypoint after Royst. So we're gonna be setting up our heads up display here in a few minutes. We're gonna be setting up for landing. Well, the president plane's a 747. So if you're flying a presidential plane, you're probably flying a 747. We are bouncing around a bit. Maybe I should slow down a little bit, but we'll see what happens. The president flies in a 747. Unless it's Marine One, then that's a helicopter, but the president flies in a 747. Oh, from Germany? Oh, I don't know that, man. The Dornier? Are you flying the Dornier? Or however you pronounce that? I don't know what it would be from Germany, dude. I am trying to think of all the different airplanes that are out there. If it's not a passenger, a fighter, or a bomber, I'm trying to think of what that could be. Tree. I saw that Loch Ness monster. I gave him $1 once. God damn it, woman. What I tell you about giving that Loch Ness monster money? That was a good episode of South Park. I gave him $1 once. Wasn't that the episode where with the Barbra Streisand monster? Oh, the A350 for real. That's right. I think that was the one with the Barbra Streisand monster. I think that was the first season. Well, I mean, that is definitely the first season, the Loch Ness monster thing, but all right, after Royst, we have YYJ. I'm sorry, Royst, then we have Aru, and then YYJ, which is the beginning of our arrival. We are running low on fuel. Hopefully we have enough. I'm wondering if we're going to run out of fuel because we're at a lower altitude going as fast as we are. We'll see. If we run out of fuel, we run out of fuel. Just learn a lesson for next time. Oh. Merkel Force One. The German. Now, I've never heard of that plane before. The A350 CJ. Never heard of that before. The Merkel Force One. Yep, I know we can't get there. Insufficient fuel. That's kind of what I thought. And I don't think I can actually put fuel into this airplane. Let me see if I can put fuel in. That's what I thought. Alright, let's slow down. We're going to have to go to a different airport, I think. Alright, let's go regular. Oh, yeah. We're almost out of fuel. Actually, let's look at... Alright, let's find CYCD. Alright, runway 16. So, let me do this real quick. Let me pause this for a second. Let's go here. CYCD. All right, CYCD. All right, and let me look up their info here. It said it was 165, 110, 35. So 165, 110, 35. All right, let's go to... There is... All right, let's do 110.35. Let's do 110.35. This side too. Let's come over here. CYCD. Submit. Approach. let's continue. We're going to start descending. So let's plug in 2,000 feet. Let's put this down to 250. Let's start descending. Put airports here. All right, there's CYCD there. So let's go ahead and put our heading there. Let's do heading select. Let's put this clown on here, on map. I don't even know if we're gonna make it to that airport. Jesus. All right, let's do mode, and then runway. Need to get the runway length. Performance tool. Oh, hang on a second. I don't want to do that. I want to change this here. All right, runway 16. Import weather. Flaps 40. Calculate. All right, runway length is 65.94 and the elevation is 75. All right, so the elevation is first. Let's put in 75. Let's hit enter. Let's go now to length, and that was 65.94. Hit enter. All right, now we got our runway height and length in. We might run out of fuel first, man. That's almost what I like too, Keith. I don't know if I like that in that order, but I can get down with that. I know we're using reserve fuel, dude. I know, I'm working on it. All right, and the course is 164. So next time I do this, I gotta make sure I put a lot more fuel in the plane. I thought we had enough. Let's turn on this. And do they have a localizer there? No. Vancouver's the closest one. 110.35, 110.35. Alright. That's what we got. Alright, let's slow down a bit. Let's put this guy on approach mode. Let's hold our altitude here. Let's turn our heading a bit. We're gonna have to make a... Well, we might not have to make a turn, actually. Oh, we're only 12 miles out. Holy shit. Yeah, let's go this way. We'll get down to 2,000 feet. And then we'll do this emergency landing. Let's put our landing lights on. You are now free to move about the country. I think we're still coming in way too fast. Good lord. Alright, approach. Gear down. Initialization. Index approach. Put our heads up display down. We might have to do a go around actually. Yeah, we're gonna have to do a go around. Alright, let's disengage this. Let's put the gear back up. Let's lock ourselves in at 210. Let's spin back around. There's our airport right there in front of us. Spin back around. All right. I believe I can fly. I remember that song from a long time ago. All right, let's go out about 10 miles and then we'll spin back around. Let's put flaps down. Let's put our speed brake, our brakes on here. Typically, you would want to go into the performance tool and do, landing en route also. Well, I guess we could do this. And it tells you the required landing distance. 5,500 feet with auto brakes 3. All right, we got 114.6, so we'll say that's it. We're almost 10 miles out. And what is... Oh, I don't need this. Hang on a second. I need the decision height. 441. 441. All right, we're about 12 miles out now. Let's go ahead and start spinning around again. Slow down a little bit. Put some more flaps down. Probably should have spun around the other way. But our heads-up display now, we set it up See, if you remember what it looked like when we took off, it's a lot cleaner now. Now it's set up for landing. Putting in the length and the height of the runway should now put this reticle dead center on the touchdown zone. All right, let's see if we can... All right, let's click on approach now. All right, we got the localizer. Let's click on the second command for category 2 landing. Glide slope will pick up when this diamond gets down farther. Let's put our landing gear down. We gotta arm the speed brakes. All right, flaps are down all the way. Hey, that's interesting. You can see the heads-up display right here. That's pretty cool. Boy, just making it by the skin of our teeth with this landing. Glad we found an airport that we could actually land at. Otherwise, we would have run out of fuel for sure. Hopefully it takes in...
Traffic.
Uh-oh. Where's traffic at? I was going to say hopefully it takes into account the change of the barometer, but it's only by, you know, a little bit. By a few feet, so...
Minimums.
We did it. We landed safely. With a little bit of fuel to spare. All right, that was cool. Running out of fuel. Next time we go at a lower altitude for a trip, we need to make sure we take more fuel with us because we did not have enough. All right, I got to get ready to go and talk to my cousin about this real estate thing. But I'll be back tonight at 8 o'clock East Coast time. Make sure you tune in. I don't know if we're going to be flying tonight. It's Friday night. We might do some other games like survival horror games and shit like that. So we might do something different tonight. Maybe. We'll see. We'll take a temperature later and see what's up. Y'all have an idea if one way or the other? That's right, Keith. Be aggressive. That's right. Thank you for the words of wisdom. I appreciate it. So always good advice to be aggressive, especially when you're trying to go after something you want. So, all right. If you guys have an idea of one way or the other, anything you'd like to see, just hit me up on Discord or in the comments. And I will see y'all later on. Be easy breezy, and see you in a few hours. See y'all later. See you, Cowboy. See you, Keith. See you, Planes. See you, James. And I will see y'all later on. See ya.